Till now, we have discussed about the band pass modulation scheme in digital communication, that is ASK, PSK, and FSK for binary data. Now, today we will start our discussion from differential phase shift keying. Then we will see about the concept of quadrature multiplexing so that it can be applicable to MRA signaling. And after MRA signaling, we will see about the quadrature phase shift key. So starting from first differential phase shift key. It is also known as DPSK. So concept of differential phase shift keying is that it is same as the PSK that we have discussed in case of binary PSK. Only thing is that the PSK transmitter, before that one we have a encoding section, and due to that one it is named as differential phase shift keying, because the encoding that we will use, that is of differential type. So first, looking to the transmitter block diagram, we have a message signal, and it will pass to an encoder that is known as differential encoder. Followed by PSK transmitter. So directly I am writing PSK transmitter. You already know about this PSK transmitter, so we can put here that section, and this result will give DPSK. Now, what is this differential encoder? So it is nothing an XOR gate whose one input is fixed to message signal M of t, and another input is taken from its output, means feedback from here. After that, we need one amplitude level shifter which will shift the output of this differential encoder to polar form or some positive or negative value. Here we expect some type of bit stream, and that will be converted into some level, positive or negative level, with the help of this amplitude level shifter. And then we have PSK transmitter. So PSK transmitter, we need first one multiplier whose input is carrier signal, suppose AC cos 2 pi FCT, and finally in the output we get DPSK, differential phase shift key signal. To discuss this block diagram, we are taking one message signal in binary sequence. Suppose that is represented as 1, 0, 1 and 0. Now this signal, this bit stream is applied to one of its input here, and it will take the XOR operation of the previous one, means previous output. Now in order to decide which is the previous output of this XOR gate, we are taking one reference bit, and generally that reference bit is taken as 0. We are taking one reference bit with 0. Now we will perform the XOR operation. See, this is reference bit which is 0 available here. Now 0 and XOR operation of 1. What will be the output? It is 1. Now for the another one, we have input 0 here, but the output is what? This 1. So again, after taking the XOR operation with this 0, we are getting as 1. Again, we will repeat the process and we will get the signal here as 0. XOR operation of 1 and 1, that is 0. And this 0 with 0 we will find here another 0. Now what is the amplitude level shifter? Suppose it is represented by ALS, amplitude level shifter, this output. So it will shift the different output of encoder section 1 and 0 to different level. And for this purpose we are using polar coding. Polar coding means what? One will be represented by some positive value, one will be represented by some positive value, and 0 will be represented by negative value. So here we have what? 1. Suppose this is our reference 0, and for 1, first for the reference signal if we draw, then for the reference it should be minus value, negative value, and for this one we have this value, and again we have 1, then we have 0, and again we have 0. So like this. So this is what? Amplitude level shifter output. Now we are passing to one multiplier. So there it will be multiplied by AC cos 2 pi FCT. So negative value, this is what? Suppose 0 reference is there. This is 0 volt. So this is what? Negative value, and this is positive value. So here what type of signal we will get? AC cos 2 pi FCT multiplied by some negative value. It means it is minus AC cos 2 pi FCT. And in this duration it will be AC cos 2 pi FCT multiplied by positive value, and here again multiplied by negative value. So minus AC cos 2 pi FCT. Actually see 2 times we have 1, therefore we will write 2 times AC cos 2 pi FCT, because in this period we have 2 bits, 1 and 1, and here also we have 2 bits. So for this one what we will write here? Minus AC cos 2 pi FCT multiplied by negative value. This represents our DPSK signal in analog form. And what is the phase difference that we get here? So we can see it gives the pi phase shift, it represents 0 phase shift, it also represents 0 phase shift, and it represents pi phase shift. So these are the phase shift represented here: pi, 0, 0, and pi. What will be the receiver output? So at the receiver, same this signal, this 0 pi 0 0 pi that we are getting as 1 1 0 0, means when this signal is applied to the receiver, we should get what? Again back to this signal 1 0 1 and 0. This is what? Our modulated signal, and that is represented for minus AC cos 2 pi FCT, this and this represented for 1 0 1 and 0 respectively. Coming to the receiver section, DPSK receiver, first we will take our symbol modulated signal DPSK, and it should pass through a multiplier, and another input to the multiplier is the delayed version of this DPSK signal, and this delay is given by 1 bit duration, that is TB, and this output we are giving this. So 2 input we have at this multiplier, one directly DPSK and another one is its delayed version, and delayed should be by the amount of its bit duration, that is TB. Then pass through a low pass filter and one threshold comparator. Threshold comparator has one threshold value denoted by VTS, to compare the input coming here, and it is set to 0 because we are using PSK system. So average of input should be there, and average of that input is VTH equal to 0. You can expect 1 or 0 here in both the case. When it is greater than 0, when it is greater than VTH 1, and when less than VTH, at that situation 0. So writing one by one, first what we have DPSK signal in the previous case. So see here, minus AC cos 2 pi FCT, AC cos 2 pi FCT, again AC cos 2 pi FCT, and then minus AC cos 2 pi FCT, this line. So same we will write here, first minus AC cos 2 pi FCT, then AC cos 2 pi FCT, again same signal 2 pi FCT, and then minus AC cos 2 pi FCT. This is modulated signal. Now what should be the multiplier output? This one is multiplier. So multiplier output here. So see, what was our reference signal? If you recall, reference signal was 0, means we can say minus AC cos 2 pi FCT. Because when you are starting from here, then you need to the previous one, because you are reading delayed version. So minus AC cos 2 pi FCT and its delayed version, minus AC cos 2 pi FCT, when you will multiply these two, we will get as AC square cos square 2 pi FCT. And here when you multiply these two, we will get minus AC square cos square 2 pi FCT. Here multiply these two, this one. Yes, any problem? Any problem? So after multiplying this, again we are getting here AC square cos square 2 pi FCT, and this one we will get minus AC square cos square 2 pi FCT. This is multiplier output. Now what will be the low pass filter output? So low pass filter acts as an integrator. So higher frequency term having some cutoff frequency, that will be eliminated beyond that cutoff frequency, and FC is what? FC is higher frequency. So when you will break this term AC cos square 2 pi FCT, how we can write this? AC square cos square 2 pi FCT, we can break them as 1 plus cos 4 pi FCT divided by 2 whole multiplied by AC square. So see, this term will be filtered by low pass filter, and only this term will come out. So AC square by 2. Therefore low pass filter here output is what? AC square by 2. Same thing we will get here, but negative sign is there. So minus AC square by 2. Here also AC square by 2, and at this situation we will get minus AC square by 2. This is low pass filter output. Now what will be the comparator output? Threshold comparator output. So compared with VTH equal to 0. So compare this one, AC square by 2, it is greater than 0, some positive value, therefore 1 will be there. It is less than 0, so 0 will be there. Greater than 0, 1 will be there, and this quantity is less than 0, so 0 will be there. This is what comparator output, and finally we get the recovered signal. So what is our recovered signal here? 1 0 1 0, and what we have transmitted, see this, we have also transmitted 1 0 1 0. So same signal we are getting. So this is about the transmission and reception with the help of differential phase shift key, and the remaining parameter remains as the same that we have in case of PSK, because main thing is PSK here. Only difference has been made by our encoding technique at the starting. So here important is that how we can represent DPSK transmitted signal. Suppose any bit sequence is given for M of t, and if we are asked to write what will be the DPSK representation or DPSK signal. So this is our DPSK signal minus AC cos 2 pi FCT. This is the modulated output. So try one problem I am giving here, all of you by yourself. We have taken here bit sequence what? 1010. Now you can try the same for the another type of bit sequence and practice this. It will make you familiar with this topic. So problem is like this: a binary signal given by suppose 0100 is transmitted by DPSK transmitter, and the reference bit is 1. In the previous case we have taken reference bit as 0, but now you have to consider reference bit as 1. Okay, so find phase sequence of DPSK. Phase sequence means what? See the last term here, this phi, this represents the phase sequence. So this you have to draw. In case of 1010 we got as pi 00 pi, but now for this you have to find for 0100 and reference bit as 1 what is the phase sequence of DPSK. So all of you try this problem, and if any doubt please ask me. Now before going to M-array signaling, where we will see that up to this discussion what we have seen that we have binary means 0 or 1 only, means binary ASK, binary PSK or FSK. But for the higher, binary means what? In a symbol only one bit has been considered. But suppose where we should have the higher number of bits in a symbol to transmit, then we should go for the M-array signaling, where M represents the number of symbols. And based on that number of symbols, we can find how many bits should be present in a single symbol. That we will see later. But thing is that in order to implement their transmitter and receiver section, there is a requirement of multiple carrier. Till now we have seen that a single carrier is sufficient, cos 2 pi FCT. But in the later, for a higher number of bits, we will find that we required some phase difference between the carriers. So for this purpose, we need quadrature multiplexing. So here we will first discuss this concept, quadrature carrier multiplexing. Quadrature carrier multiplexing. And this multiplexing technique will be utilized in M-array signaling. For example, QPSK, quadrature phase shift key. So using these techniques, two signals will be multiplexed. Instead of one signal, now there we have two signals that will be multiplexed, where the corresponding carriers have same frequency, but they have 90-degree phase shift between them. So here we have two type of modulating signal and two carrier signals, and these signals have same frequency, suppose f of c, but they will have phase difference of 90-degree, pi by 2. Means if one we are taking cos, then another carrier signal we have to take as sine. And suppose two modulating signals are M1T and M2T. These are two modulating signals, and these two modulating signal has to be multiplex, and corresponding carriers are, for this case, suppose cos 2 pi fct, we will put some amplitude here, AC, and this is what? AC sin 2 pi fct. So we can see we have the same frequency fc in both the case, but there is pi by 2 phase difference between these two carrier signals. So one by one, first we will see about the transmitter, then we will see about the receiver. So transmitter section, we are taking two message signal M1T and then taking another message signal M2T. Now this message signal has to pass through a product modulator having one carrier signal. Now this carrier signal is generated through a local oscillator. Now the another carrier message signal has to pass through another product modulator PM, whose input should be this carrier but having 90-degree phase shift. So we are introducing here 90-degree phase shifter. See, whatever signal we are taking, suppose this is AC cos 2 pi fct. So at this point we have AC cos 2 pi fct, and at this point we have AC sin 2 pi fct. Now the modulated signal is passed through one adder, which will add these two signals. So the plus sign, here also plus sign. It will add the two modulated signal appeared at the input of adder. And finally we are getting the modulated waveform as a result of this quadrature carrier multiplexing. And suppose that is represented by S of t. So how we can write? It's very simple. M of t multiplied by this one. So AC M1t cos 2 pi fct plus, since positive sign is here, and this M2t multiplied by this signal. So we will again write AC M2t sin 2 pi fct. Now suppose we have to demodulate this signal. How we can demodulate? So for that purpose we need receiver. Recall the previous discussion. So in case of demodulator or receiver section, we required this modulated waveform, and this has to be passed through a multiplier whose input should be carrier signal, same carrier signal that we have applied at the transmitter in order to get that modulated waveform. So here also for the receiver, here only I am drawing the receiving circuit. We need first the modulated waveform, and this modulated waveform should pass through two multiplier. We are taking first multiplier, and here we are taking another multiplier, and whose carrier signal should be same as previously used. So suppose if we are having AC cos 2 pi fct here, then a 90-degree phase will be there, and at this point we should have AC sin 2 pi fct, and this has to be generated through one local oscillator. Finally, this multiplied signal has to pass through low pass filter, and based on its cutoff frequency, what we have set, we can recover both the original signal, modulating signal. multiplied by some factor, because AC cos 2 pi FCT has been involved there. Also this has to be passed through one low pass filter and we can get another signal. Now see one by one what we are taking ST. When this ST multiplied by AC cos 2 pi FCT, so what will be the result? For upper section, multiplier 1 I am discussing. What will be the multiplier 1 output? So it should be S of t multiplied by AC cos 2 pi FCT. So when you will multiply by this term, so for the first term you will get AC square m1t cos square 2 pi FCT. And for the second one, what you will get? AC square m2t sin 2 pi FCT into cos 2 pi FCT. Now see one thing, when you pass through low pass filter 1, so what will be the low pass filter 1 output? When you will break this first term, what you will get? How we can write this? AC square m1t cos square 2 pi FCT. See m1t taking common, we can write AC square by 2 m1t multiplied by 1 plus cos 4 pi FCT. And when you multiply individually, so message signal 1 multiplied by 1 you will get message signal, and cos 4 pi FCT into MT. And further when you break this, suppose this having some frequency, lower frequency FM, so cos 2 pi FMT, for like that, if such type of we have signal, so cos 2 pi FMT multiplied by cos 4 pi FCT will result in cos A plus B plus cos A minus B. So this 4 pi FC means 2 FC will be shifted to two position, that is 2 FC plus FM and 2 FC minus FM. And again those are at higher frequency, which will be attenuated by low pass filter or suppressed by low pass filter. So only a single term we will get, that is AC square by 2 m1t for this term. Now for the second one, what we have? Sin 2 pi FCT cos 2 pi FCT. So how you can write this? Cos A plus sin A plus B plus sin A minus B. So what will be the result? Result will be what? It will be at higher frequency. So this term will be eliminated. And only thing is that this term AC square by 2 m1t we expect at the low pass filter output. So this is our low pass filter output, AC square by 2 m1t. Similarly, what will be the multiplier 2 output? So this term multiplied by sin 2 pi FCT. So we have sin squared. Again when you will break, similar type of concept you can apply. So low pass filter 2 output we will get as AC square by 2 m2t. So here we see that we can get the original signal that has been transmitted before. So this is the concept of quadrature carrier multiplexing. So important things we have already discussed, these things: two message signal, their phase difference and same frequency. And here transmitter and receiver we have also seen. So this type of concept will be used in case of for example quadrature phase shift keying. So before going to QPSK, quadrature phase shift keying, we should have idea about M-array signaling. So first we will discuss some basic concept of M-array signaling. And this concept you can apply for any given system. So M-array signaling. M means what? It represents the number of symbols. Okay, so M is what? Number of symbols, and that can be represented in terms of number of bit. N is what? Number of bit present in one symbol. For example, if we have a binary system, so for the binary, how many symbols we have? 2, means m is equal to 2, or we can say n is equal to 1, because 2 to the power 1, that will be 2. Similarly, for in case of quadrature, we have m is equal to 4. 4 symbols will be there. And for the 4 symbols, how many bits should be present in one symbol? So we can break them as 2 to the power 2, and this gives the number of bit. So n is what? 2. Number of bit per symbol. So unlike the previous discussion, here we have 2 bits transmitting in a single symbol. Okay. So for array PSK, if we see first the bandwidth requirement for array PSK, or you can also say quadrature PSK, QPSK, for array PSK. What is the bandwidth requirement here? So recall from the previous discussion, if we have any bit having bit duration TB, what will be its Fourier transform in frequency domain, taking the mean log only. So this is centered at 0, and this one is what? 1 by TB, and here minus 1 by TB. Now in case, see here carefully that we have only one symbol, only one bit in a symbol. But right now for array PSK, what I told, there should be 2 number of bit in one symbol. So we are drawing here that pulse that should be transmitted, and it should have time duration t, and t should be equal to what? 2 TB, because 2 bits are transmitted at a time. In order to see its frequency bandwidth requirement, first we have to represent their frequency response. So after taking Fourier transform, we can get, since it is a rectangular pulse, so same sinc type of pulse we will get here, and it is centered at 0. Now what should be this value and what should be this value? Can anyone say what should be this value in terms of TB? Anyone?
Sir, 0.5 TB.
Very good, 0.5, or you can say 1 by 2 TB. Similarly here also 1 minus 1 by 2 TB. Now for the modulated waveform, the same pulse is reflected to higher frequency, and suppose symbol is what? S of t, that is our modulated waveform. So this will be multiplied by some cos type of function, cos 2 pi fct. So we can apply shifting formula, and then this 0 will be shifted to fc frequency. One will be shifted at fc and another will be shifted to minus fc. But negative part here we are skipping, only we are taking positive because we are interested to find the bandwidth. So what will be the spectrum of this modulated waveform for this pulse? Now it will be shifted to fc, and this value is what? Fc plus 1 by 2 TB, or one can say RB by 2, because 1 by TB is what? Bit rate, that is represented by RB, and here it will be fc minus RB by 2. So what will be bandwidth here? You know bandwidth, highest positive frequency, that is fc plus RB by 2 minus lowest positive frequency, that is fc minus RB by 2, and when you will take the difference, you will get as RB. So what we see, as we are increasing the number of bits in a symbol, our bandwidth requirement is reducing. In the previous case, for this case, S of t, for this purpose we required bandwidth at 2 RB. But here, see, we required only RB, because we have increased the number of bits. Similarly, for the another type of array PSK or system, any system, you can find the bandwidth. So we will generalize one formula here. What should be the value? The main value that should be your bandwidth requirement for M array signaling, where M represents the number of symbols. So from there you find the value of n. How we can find n? How we can represent this n? This n can be taken as log of m base 2. We can find this formula. So bandwidth will be what? 2RB divided by n, or you can say 2RB divided by log m base 2. Clear? Okay. Now extending this one for case of 8 array PSK. What is the number of bit here? N is what for the 8 array PSK? Anyone? What is the value of n here?
3.
Very good. N is equal to 3. So what will be the bandwidth? That is 2RB divided by 3. Clear? Now see this, that maximum bandwidth is required when we are transmitting a single bit in one symbol. And as we increase the number of bits in a given symbol, with that bandwidth requirement is decreasing. Okay. So as the number of bits to be transmitted in a specific time increase, transmission bandwidth requirement will decrease. So we can write n increasing the transmission bandwidth requirement, that should be decreased. Okay. But one thing is that it's okay that we have less bandwidth requirement, but on the another side, if we see, it will increase the system complexity. More number of multipliers, low pass filters, adder, these things will be required. So complexity of the system, that will increase. Now another point is phase shift. Since we are discussing PSK, so what should be the phase shift? So see, phase shift. BPSK, how many phase shift was required? Between 2 points, 1 phase shift, and that phase shift was what? Pi. So phase shift we can find by 2 pi divided by number of symbols, not bit. Phase shift will be decided by bits. Bandwidth will be decided by, phase shift will be decided by symbols. Bandwidth will be decided by bit. See carefully, don't put here n. So for BPSK we have pi, you can verify from here. 2 pi divided by 2 symbols we have, so pi. Now when we will discuss QPSK, so for this, how many number of symbols required? So 4. So what will be the phase shift here? Phase shift is equal to 2 pi divided by 4. So pi by 2. Means here we have 4 symbols, and each symbols will have phase difference of pi by 2. In case of binary PSK, we have 2 symbols, and each symbol have phase difference of pi only. So this is what our basic concept for MSK. We have another type of keying also, MSK, that is minimum shift keying, that we will see later. First we will discuss about the QPSK. Okay. So coming to quadrature phase shift key, QPSK. What is M here? M value is 4. Means how many symbols? Number of signaling points? 4. 4 signaling points, or you can say 4 symbols. How many number of bits per symbol? Number of bits per symbol, that is 2. So taking 4 message signal represented by M1, M2, M3, M4, which have all possible combination of 2 bits. Only these 4 type of message signal will be appeared. For example, in case of BPSK, we have only 2 possible message signal, 1 or 0 for 1 bit. Now for the 2 bit, we have 4 possible combination, and those are as 00, 01, 10 and 11. This type of message only will be available at the input. Okay, or we can have the bit sequence like this. Now in case of QPSK, same encoding technique will be used that we have used before, that is our NRZ coding technique. In this, you already know, for 1 we assign some positive value, for 0 we assign some negative value. So first we will draw here the transmitter for this one. A message signal which is available here, and it is break into 2 parts. One is what? In phase component, and another is what? Quadrature component. So this is our in phase component, and this is our quadrature component. Then pass through a multiplier where quadrature multiplexing technique will occur. So for this purpose, we are taking one local oscillator which gives AC cos 2 pi FCT. Same applied to the in phase component, and the 90-degree phase shift is applied to the multiplier which involves the quadrature component of this M of t. And finally, they will be added. Here positive sign, here also positive sign, and we get the modulated output here, QPSK. Now this corresponds to, this portion corresponds to what? A channel that is known as in phase channel, and this is what corresponds to Q channel. Now depending upon the bit that we have transmitted, now keep in mind here we are transmitting die bit, because in a symbol 2 bits are present. So this die bit is transmitted during some interval 0 to 2 TB, or you can say 0 to 2 TB, or we can say minus TB to TB. So that bit duration or this signaling interval covers double of single bit duration. This is known as signaling interval. Now when it passes through in phase component, so since we have a die bit, so due to that die bit, it can be a positive value or a negative value based on 1 or 0. Whatever pulse is available here, it may be positive or negative, because NRZ we are applying. Here possibility is that we can have 1 or 0. Here possibility is that we can have 1 and 0 die bit, so it will have positive or negative. Here also positive or negative pulse. Okay. Now how we can represent our QPSK signal? So 4 symbols will be there. We are writing first the general expression, and then we will see for each of the symbols what is the specific values. So the general expression is SIT is equal to root under 2e divided by t cos 2 pi fct plus 2i minus 1 into pi by 4, where t is from 0 to t, and t is what? 0 to t, to tb, you can say. So this is our t, 0 to 2 tb. This is the range of t. This represents what? This is the phase, 2i minus 1 into pi by 4. Now for symbols we can write for I equal to 1, 2, 3 and 4. So when we put here I is equal to 1, what will be the value? The value will be 2 pi by 2. 2 pi by 4 means pi by 2. One is having phase pi by 2. Now the another one, when you put I is equal to 2, so 4 minus 1 means it is what? 3. 3 pi by 4. Again the next one, sorry, when you will write I is equal to 1, so 2 minus 1, 1, it should be pi by 4. Pi by 4, 3 pi by 4, now put you I is equal to 3. So 3 minus 1, 2. 2 pi by 4, how much value you will get? First we have written for 2, now for I is equal to 3, 6 minus 1 into pi by 4. It is what? 5 pi by 4. And 4, I equal to 4, so 7 pi by 4. Now see the phase difference between all symbols, we get a phase difference of pi by 2. Here also phase difference of pi by 2, same phase difference. So all the symbols will have phase difference of pi by 4. Okay. Now outside this range 0 to t, this SIT will be 0. Okay. Now one by one for the Dybit combination, we will write the signaling function S1, S2, S3 and S4. So what are the 4 message signals? M1 for 00, M2 at 01, M3 as 10 and M4 as 11. Now for the 00, see when you will break this term, this is suppose some phase angle phi. So how we can write? Cos t plus phi. So you can write cos A into cos B plus sin A into sin B. Based on that one we can break. Now one more thing, when you will write cos A into cos B, so one term will involve either cos pi by 4 or it will involve sin pi by 4. And what is the value of this one? 1 by root 2. So when you will multiply with this, you will get as 2 cancelled. So you in that one S1 or S2 we will now write as root under e by t. Don't confuse that. Here we have written square root of 2e by t, but while writing separately only we will take root under e by t, because that cos pi by 4 or sin pi by 4, that will have value 1 by root 2, and due to that one this term will cancel. Okay. Now what we observe that in each of the symbols there is a combination of cos and sin. So how we will write for this? One is what? In phase, and another is what? Your quadrature. So here 00 encoding technique is what? NRZ. So for 0 negative sign will be there, and we will put some magnitude AC dash, where AC dash is what is equal to square root of E by T, not to E by T, cos 2 pi FCT. And here also again 0, so we will write minus AC dash, but here sine term will be there, sine 2 pi FCT. 0 1, so 0 is there in phase component, minus sign will be there, AC dash cos 2 pi FCT. For in phase component we are taking cos, for the quadrature component we are taking sine, and 1 is present here, so plus AC dash sine 2 pi FCT. For this 1 0, now we will write this one as positive, so AC dash cos 2 pi FCT minus AC dash sine 2 pi FCT, because 0 is there, and 1 1. So in both the case positive we have cos 2 pi FCT, and also here plus AC dash sine 2 pi FCT. So in this manner we can see all our symbols that is present at the end of transmitter. Now one thing, in order to draw the constellation diagram, one thing we will require how we can represent the symbol. You have another class? You have another class after this?
No, no, sir, no. Sir.
Okay, then shall we continue? Shall we continue? We can continue or not? Pranjal? Okay, if no class then we can continue. Now see, actually better to finish this QPSK today only. Now how we can represent any type of symbol? Suppose we have A cos 2 pi FCT plus B sine 2 pi FCT. So such type of symbol we can represent as square root of A square plus B square, and then cos 2 pi FCT plus some phase, where phase is what? Phi is equal to tan inverse B by A. So based on this we have written this one and the general expression of SIT. Now next is what? Constellation diagram. See carefully. Actually AC dash, it will be very much helpful when we will draw the constellation diagram. So next we are writing constellation diagram. So one is horizontal and vertical axis. This is horizontal axis, this one is vertical. And what are these axes? So this is your normalized function. Now see the expression. We can see here that two type of normalized functions are required. One is cos 2 pi FCT, another one will represent sine 2 pi FCT. So on the horizontal axis we are writing normalized function cos 2 pi FCT, and on this axis we are writing sine 2 pi FCT. And what should be this value? So this should be what? Root under 2 by T. Recall from the previous lecture, in constellation diagram when we multiply by root under 2 by T, where T is the time duration of that symbol, so it will give the normalized value, because when you will find the area of this, at the same time we can see the energy also. Suppose we have to find the energy, how we can calculate? So for the first symbol, if you want to find the energy, so S1 square T dt from 0 to T. And what is S1? See here, minus AC dash cos 2 pi f ct minus AC dash sin 2 pi f ct. So when you will take the square of this, it will be this square plus this square, means AC dash square, and plus 2AB. So 2AB, when you will multiply this, so we can write 2 AC dash square cos 2 pi fct into sin 2 pi fct. After multiplying these two, you can also break them as sin a plus b and sin a minus b. Okay. And when you will perform the integration of that one, this value will, integration of this term, it will be 0, and only we have this term. So therefore energy you can find as AC dash square divided by 2, no, not 2, AC dash square, and that is our energy, and that should be equal to EB. And bit duration is there, so this one is what, symbol duration, so T will be present. Now this, from here you can also see AC dash is what, square root of EB by T. Sorry, not EB, energy of symbols. EB represents the energy of bit, but here total symbols we are taking, so root under E by T. Now when you will take the square of this, square root of 2 by T cos square 2 pi f ct, you will find as 1. When you will integrate this, square of this one, square root of 2 by T cos 2 pi f ct or sin 2 pi f ct, from 0 to T, this value will be 1. So this is what, normalized. Similarly this one is also normalized. Now one by one we will put all the symbols. So first symbol is what, S1 represented by 0 0. Second is S2 for the transmission of message signal 0 0, for the transmission of message signal 0 1, for the 1 0, and fourth symbol as 1 1, transmission of 1 1. So these are the message signal. Don't confuse that these are the symbols, means transmitted signal. These are the modulated symbols are represented by S1, S2, S3, S4. In case of the transmitting signal as 0 0, 0 1, 1 0 and 1 1. So one by one we will represent all the symbols here in constellation diagram. So where should be located S1? First see the value of S1 from the previous equation. What is this? Minus root under E by T cos 2 pi f ct minus this. So I am writing here S11 is what? Minus square root of E by T cos 2 pi f ct minus square root of E by T sin 2 pi f ct. Okay, now what value we have to consider? Coefficient of normalized function. So what is the coefficient of normalized function here? We can write like this. After multiplying by 1 by root 2 in numerator and denominator, if you multiply it by root 2, you can write like this: minus square root of E by 2 into root under 2 by T cos 2 pi f ct, and here also minus root under E by 2 into 2 by T sin 2 pi f ct. Now for this one, it has two components. S11 has two components having two normalized function, this and another normalized function as this, and their magnitudes are same, square root of E by 2, but negative value. So for the negative value of both, on this axis if we are coming, suppose this point represents minus square root of E by 2, this point represents square root of E by 2, this represents here minus root under E by 2, and also square root of root E by 2. Actually, only these 4 points are involved in our symbols. Therefore, we have indicated these 4 points on the normalized axis. Now, okay, for this one S11, we have seen that this should be negative and this is also negative. So this point should be located here, S11. Now you can see this corresponds to the value, this multiplied by root under 2 by t cos 2 pi fct, and this also corresponds to this into root under 2 by t. So this is our S11. Next is what? S2. This is S1. What is S2? So see the expression S2. Now you can locate that point only identifying the polarity on normalized axis. So first one is what? Negative, and second one is what? Positive. So horizontal axis negative value, this, and vertical axis positive value. So S2 should be located here. Similarly, see for the S3, positive and negative. So this is positive and this value is what? Negative. So this should be, S3 should be here. And the last one, both is positive, therefore S4 should be there. So these are 4 signaling points, S1, S2, S3 and S4, located on the constellation diagram. You can find the separation between them, separation between signaling points. Okay, so separation between signaling points, how we can find? This distance, this distance plus this distance. You know that the angle between its symbols is what? 90 degree. This is 90 degree. This is also 90 degree. And here also it will be 90 degree. Okay, it means this one is what? 45 degree. Now once it is 45 degree and this one is what? 90 degree, you can find this length by taking the square root of sum of squares. Okay, so you can find this length. So how we can find this? As square root of e by 2 plus e by 2. What will be their sum? It will be root under e. And similarly this side also root under e. So what is the signaling point distance? We can find this distance. This distance is what? This is our square root of e. And square root of e means 2 square root of e. Similarly, you can find the signaling point distance, this one. When you will add these two, so what will be the value? See, what is the vertical height here? This is square root of e by 2. And here also square root of e by 2. So when you will add 2 square root of e by 2, we are getting distance between these signaling points. So you can say square root of 2e. So there are different values. If diagonally, if see the difference, that is at large distance compared to the vertical distance. What will be the bandwidth requirement here? Already discussed. Bandwidth requirement is 2 RB divided by number of bits in a symbol. So number of bits is how much? 2. So its bandwidth requirement is RB. What is your phase shift? You can see 2 pi divided by number of symbols. So 90 degree, pi by 2. Okay. Next we have receiver section. So this we will discuss in next lecture, because we have some waveform also that we have to plot. How we can plot the waveform of DPSK binary sequence, QPSK binary sequence. So till now, any doubt, please ask. Rest remaining portion we will discuss in next lecture. Any doubt, please ask.